Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're taking a look at another HD Kyoukai Senki kit. This time it's the very edgy Brandy Phantom here. Really cool kit though, really stylistic design. I like it a lot. Let's go ahead and get right into the review. Alright guys, starting off taking a look at the box, then we'll get into its contents and the review, but we got a really awesome view here of the Brandy Phantom facing off against the Kenbu there for the box art. It looks very cool. You have this kind of very chaotic scene going on there in the background, and then all the lighting effects and details, everything there on the illustration look really cool. The light on the sabers there on its arms. Definitely a very cool looking box art here. On the side of the box, you can see this is number 14 in the line, and you can also see just how thick this box is. It's definitely a thicker one than usual. That just means we've got a good amount of stuff in here. So here's a look at what the kit is going to look like all painted up, front and back there, very sharp and pointy everywhere, lots of swords and claws. So you got to look at some of the different poses and gimmicks and everything here. On the other side, some others from the series lineup, the Kenbu-zan and the Brady Fox. Then we have an introduction to the story over here in Japanese and in English. So obviously there's going to be some familiar Brady parts, but then there'll be some new parts specific to this kit as well. We'll take a look at the runners in just a second. Here for the manual, we've got the box art there at the top. At the bottom, the illustration of the Brandy Phantom, which does look very nice, as well as the pilot Brad Watt. You got some information about him there in Japanese and in English. Around here on the back, some more about the gimmicks and features of the kit there, and then you got some information there. It is in its parked state. Once again, all the information is all in Japanese and in English. And the same thing here for the color guide at the bottom. You got all that there for you. Then we've got our parts list here on the inside, a few pages in black and white of the construction, and also the last few pages of the construction and also the transformation into the park state are here on some color pages, which is nice. Getting into the runners here, runners A1, A2, and A3 are all going to be basically like your frame runners here for the kit, which are in this dark brownish gray color. Runners B1 and B2 are in this dark purplish color here. It looks very nice. Runner C1 is in an even darker purple color there. Runner D1, however, is in this very light gray color. Runner G1 here is a mix of some more of that brownish gray for some frame parts, that dark purplish, and also some light lavender parts there for some accents. Runner G2 is a mix of frame, dark purple, and also clear pink for the eyes. And runner G3 is some more dark purple, some more frame, some more lavender, and some more light gray here on the side. Alright guys, so here's the kit all built up. It looks awesome. I mean, who doesn't love a super edgy mecha with claws and swords and this really dark color scheme and a face that you can barely see in there? His design definitely has a lot of style and builds off of a really solid kit with the different Brady series that we've seen so far as like a grunt type, but this one as like an elite type version of that definitely stands out. It's very cool. Let's go ahead and take a closer look. As for accessories, aside from what we've got here on the kit already, which would just be the two swords which are mounted up underneath the kind of torso sides there, and these open hands, we do also have, of course, a set of holding hands, which would be for the sword. These also can have this back part, which will extend out as like a punching gimmick, sort of like an armored knuckle there for its melee combat. But we do also have the rifle here as well, which we've seen before in past versions of the kit. This one again looks very nice. So yeah, the actual head or the eye, whatever, is going to be kind of difficult to see. I would definitely recommend you guys throw some like silver or titanium kind of paint up inside there behind the clear part so that that's a little bit more visible. But the brim of its hat, you can sort of change the angle of that a little bit, kind of bring that down ever so slightly. And these swords are removable, I should say. You can just remove this entire attachment piece off of there if you don't want to have that on there at all. The sword itself is just clipped into the holder and it's just the single piece here, quite nice. From tip to tip, the sword itself is almost 13 centimeters in length to give you guys an idea of the overall size of this. Other articulation is going to include a double joint kind of here for the shoulders. You have this middle part, so you have a joint on one side and a joint on the other side. That will allow you to bring the shoulder forwards, back like that, and sort of like an accordion style there, and up and down in a similar style. Though ultimately you can only really bring the arm up to about 90 degrees to the body, which is not all that much. Otherwise, we have some rotation here in the upper arm. Single joint in the elbow is going to give you, again, more than 90 degrees, slightly, but not that much. The wrist is just on a little ball joint For the gauntlets here on the back, it's really simple. The claws just fold forward like that, and they're supposed to be heated, and in the manual they show it as like a kind of metallic blue on the inside of here. There's no stickers or anything for that, so you would just have to paint that if you wanted that to be more accurate. Around here on the backpack, these parts will move up and down a little bit. The upper one up and down like that, the lower one up and down like that here, so you can kind of adjust the angle of these, which I guess would be like kind of thrusters there on the backpack. And in the midsection too, you've got some movement here, side to side, forward all the way to there, back to there, and of course a rotation here between the top and bottom half of the kit. Moving down to the bottom half, this front part is on a little ball joint, so you can kind of rotate that a little bit out of the way. The side skirts as well, you can move them up and down, rotate them left and right slightly. The back skirt, you can get ever so slightly, a little tiny bit of movement out of that, basically nothing. And so the leg can point quite far out to the side, quite far up to the front here by rotating that front part slightly to the side. You can bring the leg up, and if we bend the knee, you can bring the leg up a little bit farther, I feel like. The knee bend goes to about there, and you have this little bit of movement here with this knee armor piece, which is quite cool. Down here at the ankle, this little bit of armor at the back will move slightly. The toes will move, the front and back toe parts there, little claws will move in and out like that. The whole ankle itself will move side to side, forward a little bit, back a little bit like that. It's just on a ball joint though, so you want to be careful not to pop that out of the ball joint. And then up underneath the feet, it's going to look like that. For a size comparison here, I also want to show you how the weapons from this kit would look with your standard 1/44 scale Gundam kit. The rifle I feel would fit pretty well, pretty easily with basically anything 1/44 scale. The sword's a bit big, so you may want to save that for maybe like a larger 1/44 scale kit. And that could even work with even some master grade kits depending on how you wanted them to look in scale. Alright guys, that's just about going to do it here for this kit. We'll take a look at a few different poses, but like I said, and like you guys have seen in the past reviews, that these kits are all really nicely posable. They do like the different action poses really nicely, whether you have them on the ground or like up on an action base. Obviously, no action base included with this one, but if you have one, any kind of extra base will work with this. It just plugs up right underneath the hip section as normal. And while that nice articulation and posing really goes for all of the kits in the series, really from my experience, aside from the transport units of course, for me personally, I do really have a preference for the grunt type suits from this series, like the Joe Hound, the Brady Hound, the Brady Fox, this one as well. Even though again this is more of like an elite unit, still just based off of that similar design. I really like these suits from this line quite a bit. But let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. Which do you prefer? Do you prefer like the melee units, or do you prefer some of the other grunt units? There are a couple other different ones. There's like the Bunya Boomerang and a couple of those suits from this series that I have not checked out. So if there's ones that I haven't reviewed and you guys really like, you guys would recommend, definitely let me know in the comment sections if there's ones that I haven't reviewed from the series that you guys would like to see reviews for. But yeah, this one, like I said before, just has a really great style to it, really cool style. I think ultimately I would probably want to switch up the colors a little bit. I find like just the kind of dark brooding color scheme of this mixed with the edgy styling of it is a bit too much for me. I would maybe want to tone that down, tone that edginess down a little bit by mixing up the colors a little bit, add some more like brighter color accents or something in there. But I think it's a really cool design, and I would definitely enjoy painting it up sometime in the future when I get the chance. But what do you guys think of it? If you also are interested in this kit or any of the kits in the line, of course you can check them out at USA Gundam Store. The link will be down in the video description below. As always, we got all the Kyoukai Senki stuff in there, other HG Gunpla, other HG stuff from Bandai, anything else from Bandai. All that stuff you guys can check out there at the link down below. And of course, if you would also like to like or subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated. But thank you all so much for checking out the video today. Hope you're all doing well, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.